My sister said it loud enough for everyone to hear. Look at him, empty pockets and empty promises. The room laughed. Not polite chuckles, real laughter. The kind that comes when people feel safe mocking you because everyone else is doing it too. I stood near the buffet table in the Riverside Events Center, holding a glass of water I hadn't asked for. The room was all white walls and recessed lighting, the kind of place that costs money to rent but doesn't feel expensive, just clean. Corporate. The sort of venue where families hold retirement parties and awkward reunions. My daughter Emma stood 15 feet away, talking to her husband Derek. She glanced at me when the laughter started, then looked away. No expression, like I was furniture. My son Michael sat at one of the round tables with his wife Jennifer. He didn't even look up, just kept scrolling through his phone. I'd been invited here 3 days ago. Emma called and said we needed to discuss some family business. She didn't say what. She didn't need to. I knew what this was about. The inheritance. My father died 8 months ago, left everything to me. The properties, the accounts, the investments. Not a fortune, but enough to matter. Enough that my kids had been circling ever since the will was read. They thought I'd blown it all. They were half right. My sister Linda stood near the bar, still smiling from her joke. She was 6 years older than me, always treated me like I was still 12. She wore a cream blazer and heels that clicked when she walked. Her husband Gary stood next to her, nodding at something someone said. I mean, we all knew this would happen, Linda continued, projecting her voice like she was on stage. Dad gave him everything, and what does he do? Loses it in 6 months. Oh, more laughter. I took a sip of water. Emma finally walked over. She had her mother's eyes, sharp and calculating. She'd inherited that from Susan, my ex-wife, who'd left me 12 years ago and never looked back. Emma stopped a few feet away, arms crossed. Dad, why don't you sit down? I'm fine standing. You're making people uncomfortable. Am I? She glanced back at Derek, who gave her a small nod. Some kind of signal. They'd rehearsed this. Look, Emma said, lowering her voice. We asked you here because we need to talk about your situation. My situation. You're broke, Dad. We know it. Everyone knows it. I didn't respond. She sighed, like I was being difficult. We want to help. That's why we're all here. We've been talking, and we think it's time you let us take over some of the financial decisions. Take over. Manage things. You're clearly not equipped to handle this kind of responsibility anymore. Michael walked over, Jennifer trailing behind him. He was taller than me now, filled out in the shoulders, worked in finance, made good money. He thought that meant he was smarter than everyone else. Dad, we've already drawn up some paperwork, Michael said. He pulled a folder from under his arm. Just some basic power of attorney stuff. It'll make everything easier. Easier for who? For everyone. He opened the folder, showed me documents with highlighted signature lines. You sign these, and we can start cleaning up the mess you've made. Jennifer touched his arm. Michael, maybe give him a minute. He's had 8 months, Michael said. How much time does he need? Linda walked over, drink in hand. Oh, are we doing this now? Finally? Linda, this is a private conversation, Emma said. Private? You invited the whole family. Don't pretend this is some secret intervention. She wasn't wrong. There were maybe 20 people in the room. Cousins, aunts, uncles, in-laws, all standing around pretending they weren't listening while they absolutely were. Dad made some bad investments, Emma said, still trying to sound diplomatic. We're just trying to help him recover. Bad investments, Linda repeated, grinning. Is that what we're calling it? I set my water glass down on the nearest table. Dad? Emma's voice had an edge now. Are you going to say something? I looked at her, at Michael, at Linda. No, I said. Michael's jaw tightened. No, you won't sign, or no, you won't talk. Both. Jesus Christ, he muttered, flipping through the folder like the answer was in there somewhere. Do you have any idea how much trouble you're in? The property taxes alone? I know what I owe. Then you know you can't pay it. I didn't argue, let him think what he wanted. Derek joined the circle now, hands in his pockets. He was younger than Emma by 3 years, worked in tech, made her money look small. He smiled at me, the kind of smile you give a dog you're about to put down. Sir, with all due respect, we're trying to keep you from losing everything. Everything's already gone, Linda said. That's the point. Emma shot her a look. Linda, please. What? It's true. He's got nothing left. The house is probably next. I felt the room watching, listening, waiting for me to break down or argue or beg. I did none of those things. Dad, Emma said, softer now. Please, just sign the papers. Let us help you. Michael held out a pen. I looked at it. At him, at all of them. Then the side door opened. A woman in a gray suit walked in, holding a tablet and a leather portfolio. Mid-40s, professional, no makeup. She scanned the room until she found me, then walked over. Mr. Brennan? Yes. I'm Rebecca Torres, Mr. Hollis's assistant. I apologize for being late. The room went quiet. Emma frowned. Who's Mr. Hollis? Rebecca didn't look at her. I need to confirm who will be staying for the announcement. What announcement? Michael asked. Rebecca glanced at her tablet. The estate disclosure. Per the terms of the arrangement, only family members with direct inheritance claims are required to stay. Others may leave if they prefer. Linda laughed. Inheritance claims? There's nothing left to inherit. Rebecca finally looked at her. That's not accurate. The room got quieter. Emma stepped forward. I'm sorry. Who did you say you represent? Mr. Hollis. He's Mr. Brennan's estate attorney. His estate attorney? Michael's voice cracked a little. Dad, what is she talking about? I didn't answer. Rebecca checked her tablet again. I'll need confirmation on who's staying. The reading is scheduled for 4 p.m. It's now 3:58. Reading of what? Derek asked. The amended trust documents. Emma's face changed, the confidence drained out of it, replaced by something else, confusion, maybe fear. Dad. Her voice was smaller now. What did you do? I picked up my water glass, took another sip. Mr. Brennan? Rebecca said. I nodded. They're all staying. Rebecca made a note on her tablet. Understood. Mr. Hollis will be here in 2 minutes. She walked to the front of the room and set her portfolio on a small podium near the screen. Someone had already set up a projector. Linda looked at Gary. What the hell is going on? Gary shrugged. Emma grabbed my arm. Dad, talk to me. What is this? I pulled my arm free, gently. You wanted to talk about my situation, so let's talk about it. Michael moved closer, his face red now. If you think you can just... Michael, I said, cutting him off. Sit down. He opened his mouth, closed it, sat down. Jennifer sat next to him, hands folded in her lap. She looked nervous. Emma stayed standing for another few seconds, then walked back to Derek. They whispered to each other, fast and sharp. Linda drained her drink and set the empty glass on the bar. This should be good. The room filled with murmurs, people shifting in their seats, phones coming out, getting put away. No one knew what to do. I stayed near the buffet table. Rebecca stood at the podium, waiting. At exactly 4 p.m., the main door opened. A man in his 60s walked in, wearing a charcoal suit and carrying a briefcase. Silver hair, wire-rimmed glasses, calm expression. He nodded to Rebecca, then looked at me. David? Paul. Paul Hollis, my father's attorney, also mine as of 8 months ago. He walked to the podium, set his briefcase down, and opened it, pulled out a stack of documents. Rebecca handed him the tablet. Thank you all for being here, Paul said, his voice clear and professional. This won't take long. Emma stood. Mr. Hollis, I don't know what my father told you, but please sit down, Ms. Brennan. She hesitated, then sat. Paul adjusted his glasses and looked at the tablet. 8 months ago, David Brennan inherited the entirety of his father's estate, valued at approximately $4.2 million. This included real estate holdings, investment accounts, and liquid assets. Michael shifted in his seat. Since that time, there has been considerable concern among family members regarding Mr. Brennan's financial management. Some of you have reached out to me directly. Some of you have hired your own attorneys to explore options for conservatorship or guardianship. Emma's face went pale. Paul continued. What none of you knew is that Mr. Brennan and I have been working together since the day the will was read. Everything that has happened over the past 8 months has been intentional. Linda stood. What are you saying? Paul looked at her. I'm saying your brother didn't lose anything. He moved it. The room erupted. People talking over each other, Emma shouting questions, Michael demanding explanations, Linda yelling something I couldn't hear. I stayed where I was. Paul raised a hand. If you'll let me finish. It took another 30 seconds for everyone to settle down. The estate has been restructured, Paul said. The properties were transferred into a private trust. The investments were reallocated. The liquid assets were placed in a family foundation with specific terms and conditions. He tapped the tablet. The projector lit up, showing a document on the screen. Under the terms of this foundation, Each of David's children was designated as a co-trustee. They were given fiduciary responsibility over the assets, along with all legal liabilities associated with mismanagement. Michael stood. "What does that mean?" Paul looked at him. "It means you've been in control for the last 6 months. You just didn't know it." Jennifer grabbed Michael's arm. "Michael, sit down." He didn't sit. "The foundation was activated in June," Paul said. "Since then, every financial decision made by this family, every contract signed, every distribution requested, has been done under your authority, not David's." Emma's voice shook. "That's impossible. We never signed anything." "You did, actually." Paul pulled a document from his briefcase and held it up. "This power of attorney, the one you've been trying to get David to sign for months. You signed it yourselves 3 months ago." Derek stepped forward. "We signed a different document. That was for access to his accounts. Yes, but the terms were broader than you realized. You weren't taking control from David. You were accepting control he'd already transferred." The room was silent now. Paul set the document down. "David hasn't made a single financial decision since June. You have. Every tax payment, every withdrawal, every investment change. That was you." Michael's face was white. No, that's not." "It's documented," Paul said. "Rebecca, if you would." Rebecca tapped her tablet. The screen changed, showing a list of transactions, dates, amounts, descriptions. "These are the decisions made under your authority," Paul said. "Some were good, some were not. But they were all yours." Emma sat down hard. Linda walked toward the screen, staring at it. "This is insane." "It's legal," Paul said. "David protected himself, and in doing so, he gave you exactly what you wanted. Control." Michael turned to me. "Why would you do this?" I met his eyes. "Because you asked for it." The room stayed silent. Paul closed his briefcase. "There will be a full briefing tomorrow at my office, 9 a.m. sharp. Attendance is mandatory. Any questions before then should go through Rebecca." He nodded to me, then walked out. Rebecca followed. The door closed. No one moved. Emma stared at the screen. Michael stood frozen. Jennifer had her face in her hands. Linda looked at me like she didn't recognize me. I set my water glass down and walked toward the door. "Dad!" Emma called after me. I stopped, hand on the door handle. "This isn't over." I looked back at her. "Yes," I said. "It is." I walked out. While you're here, hit the hype button, don't forget to subscribe and support this channel with a like, and tell us below. Have you ever faced something like this? I drove to a motel off Route 9, 15 miles from the events center, the kind of place where no one asks questions and the rooms smell like disinfectant and old carpet. I paid cash for 3 nights. Room 18, second floor, corner unit, facing the parking lot. Inside, I dropped my keys on the nightstand and sat on the edge of the bed. The mattress sagged. The TV was bolted to the dresser. The walls were thin enough that I could hear someone coughing in the next room. I pulled out my phone. 3 missed calls from Emma, 2 from Michael, 4 texts from Linda, each one more frantic than the last. I turned the phone off and set it next to the keys. Then I waited. They'd come. I knew they would. Not tonight, but soon. They'd need answers, explanations, a way to undo what had been done. There wasn't one. Paul had done his job perfectly. Every document, every transfer, every signature had been legitimate. The foundation existed. The trust was real. The power of attorney they'd signed, the one they thought gave them access to my accounts, had actually made them responsible for managing those accounts. They owned the liability now, not me. I leaned back against the headboard and closed my eyes. For the first time in 8 months, I felt calm. The next morning, I woke at 6, showered, dressed, and drove to a diner 3 blocks away, ordered coffee and eggs, sat in a booth by the window and watched the sun come up. At 8:30, my phone buzzed. I'd turned it back on. Another call from Emma. I let it ring out. At 8:40, a text from Michael. "We need to talk. Now." I deleted it. At 8:50, Paul called. I answered. "They're here," he said. "All of them?" "Emma, Michael, and their spouses. Linda showed up too, but she's not on the list, so I sent her to the waiting area." "How do they look? Angry, confused, scared?" "Good." Paul paused. "You sure you want to do this?" "Yes." "All right. I'll start without you. Come whenever you're ready." He hung up. I finished my coffee, paid the bill, and drove to Paul's office. It was in a low-rise building downtown, 4th floor, corner suite. I parked in the garage and took the elevator up. Rebecca met me in the lobby. She wore another gray suit, hair pulled back, same calm expression. "They've been in the conference room for 20 minutes, she said. Mr. Hollis is walking them through the documents. Any outbursts? Michael threw a pen. Emma's been on her phone the whole time. Jennifer hasn't said a word. Derek keeps asking questions Paul won't answer. Linda? Still in the waiting area. She tried to force her way in, but security escorted her back. I nodded. Let's go. Rebecca led me down the hall to a set of glass doors. Through them, I could see the conference room. Long table, leather chairs, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Emma sat at the far end, arms crossed. Michael paced near the window. Jennifer sat next to an empty chair, staring at a stack of documents. Derek leaned against the wall, typing on his phone. Paul stood at the head of the table, his briefcase open, papers spread out in front of him. I opened the door and walked in. Everyone stopped. Emma looked up first. Her eyes were red, like she'd been crying or hadn't slept. Probably both. Dad. I sat down at the opposite end of the table. Michael stopped pacing. Are you serious right now? I didn't respond. Paul cleared his throat. As I was saying, the foundation was structured to protect David's assets while transferring fiduciary responsibility to his children. This is a common estate planning tool, though the specific terms here are, admittedly, unusual. Unusual? Michael's voice was too loud for the room. You made us responsible for his debts. No, Paul said calmly. You accepted responsibility. There's a difference. Derek pushed off the wall. We didn't know what we were signing. You were advised to have your own attorney review the documents. You declined. Because you said it was standard. It was, for a power of attorney. Emma slammed her hand on the table. Stop playing games. You tricked us. No one tricked you, I said. Everyone turned. I leaned forward, elbows on the table. You wanted control. I gave it to you. You gave us your mess, Michael shouted. I gave you what you asked for. Emma stood. You made us think you were broke. You humiliated yourself in front of the whole family just so you could, what? Get back at us? You humiliated me, I said. I just made sure you'd remember it. Jennifer finally spoke, her voice quiet. This is insane. Is it? I looked at her. You've been calling me incompetent for months, telling everyone I couldn't manage money, couldn't make decisions, couldn't be trusted. Now you're angry because I proved you right. She didn't respond. Derek moved closer to the table. What do you want from us? Nothing. Bullshit. You don't do all this just to walk away. Watch me, Paul interjected. David, maybe we should discuss the next steps. I shook my head. There are no next steps. They have control. I'm out. Emma's voice cracked. You can't just... I can. I did. Michael grabbed the edge of the table. What about the taxes? The property liens? The foundation debt? That's your problem now. Dad, you wanted me out of the picture, I said, standing. Congratulations. You got what you wanted. I walked toward the door. Emma followed. We didn't want this. I stopped, turned. Yes, you did. You just didn't think it would cost you anything. Her face twisted. We're your children. Then act like it. I left. Behind me, I heard Michael yelling, Jennifer crying, Derek demanding answers from Paul. I kept walking. Rebecca caught up with me at the elevator. That went well. Did it? Better than I expected. The elevator doors opened. I stepped inside. Rebecca stayed in the hall. What now? She asked. Now we wait. For what? For them to realize they can't fix this. The doors closed. I went back to the motel. Spent the rest of the day lying on the bed, watching the ceiling fan spin, listening to the traffic outside. At 6 p.m., someone knocked on my door. I looked through the peephole. Emma. I opened the door. She looked worse than she had that morning. Hair messy, makeup smudged, still wearing the same clothes. Can I come in? I stepped aside. She walked in, looked around the room, then sat in the chair by the window. I stayed standing. Michael's having a breakdown, she said. Jennifer took him home. Derek's with his lawyer. Linda won't stop calling me. Okay. That's it? Okay? What do you want me to say? She laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. I don't know. Maybe I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't mean for it to go this far. I'm not sorry, and I meant every word. She looked at me, really looked at me, like she was trying to find something familiar and couldn't. Who are you? The same person I've always been. No, you're not. I sat on the edge of the bed. You want to know what changed? Fine, I'll tell you. 8 months ago, I buried my father. A week later, you and Michael showed up at my house and asked when you'd be getting your share. Not How are you holding up? Not, what do you need? Just, when do we get paid? That's what changed. Emma's jaw tightened. We didn't. You did, and you kept doing it. Every phone call, every visit, every time you looked at me, all I saw was someone waiting for me to die so you could cash in. That's not fair, isn't it? She didn't answer. You know what the worst part was? I said. Not the greed. I could handle that. It was the disrespect, the way you talked about me, to me, like I was already gone. Dad, you called me incompetent. You told people I couldn't manage my own life. You made me a joke. Her voice dropped. We were worried about you. No, you were worried about yourselves. She stood, started pacing. Fine, you're right. We screwed up. We were selfish. We were assholes. Is that what you want to hear? I don't want to hear anything. Then what do you want? I want you to live with what you did. She stopped pacing. What does that mean? It means you signed those papers. You took control. Now you get to figure out how to fix the mess you helped create. There's no mess. You moved the money, you set up the foundation, I protected myself. You took responsibility for managing it. That's the difference. She stared at me. You really did plan this. Yes. From the beginning. From the day you asked when you'd get your share. She shook her head. I can't believe you. I don't need you to believe me. I need you to leave. Dad, leave, Emma. She opened her mouth, closed it, then grabbed her purse and walked to the door. She stopped with her hand on the handle. Mom was right about you, she said. Was she? She said you'd turn into this. Cold, mean, just like Grandpa. Your mother left because she couldn't stand the idea of not being the center of attention. Don't rewrite history to make yourself feel better. Emma's face flushed. Screw you. She slammed the door on her way out. I sat there for a long time, staring at the closed door. The next day, Michael came. He knocked at 9 a.m., loud and insistent. I opened the door. He pushed past me, didn't wait for an invitation. We need to talk. No, we don't. He spun around. You destroyed my life and you think we're done? I didn't destroy anything. You did that yourself. Jennifer's leaving me. I closed the door. That's not my problem. Yes, it is. She's leaving because of this, because we're broke. You're not broke. We can't access the money. It's all tied up in your goddamn foundation. Then manage it better. He laughed, sharp and bitter. Manage it? Dad, there's nothing to manage. You stripped it all. No, I protected it. There's a difference. You won't? How do you know? Because you're too smart for that, and too scared. His face went red. I'm not scared of you. You should be. He shoved me. Not hard, but enough to make a point. I didn't move. Hit me again, I said. See what happens. He didn't. Instead, he turned and punched the wall. The drywall cracked. He pulled his hand back, wincing. Feel better? I asked. Screw you. He walked to the door, stopped, turned back. You know what's funny? I actually used to admire you. When I was a kid, I thought you were the smartest guy in the world. Now I just think you're pathetic. Good? Good? If you admired me, I'd know I failed. He stared at me, then left. I patched the wall with spackling from the front desk. It wouldn't hold long, but it didn't need to. I wasn't staying much longer. That night, Derek called. We need to meet. No, you don't have a choice. I do, and I'm choosing not to. Emma's falling apart. Michael's spiraling. You've put them in an impossible situation. They put themselves there. That's not how they see it. I don't care how they see it. Derek paused. What if I offered you a deal? I don't need a deal. You haven't heard it yet. I don't need to. David. Don't call me David. You don't get to do that. Another pause. Fine. Mr. Brennan, I'm trying to fix this. For everyone. But I can't do that if you won't cooperate. I'm not cooperating. That's the point. Then you're making an enemy. Good. I need the practice. I hung up. 5 minutes later, Emma texted. Derek's right. We need to talk. Please. I deleted it. 2 hours later, Michael called. I didn't answer. At midnight, someone knocked on my door again. I looked through the peephole. Linda. I opened the door. She looked exhausted. Hair tied back, no makeup, wearing jeans and a sweatshirt. She held a paper bag. I brought food. I'm not hungry. I don't care. She pushed past me, set the bag on the table, and started unpacking. 2 sandwiches, chips, a couple of sodas. Sit, she said. I sat. She handed me a sandwich, opened her own, and took a bite. We ate in silence for a few minutes. Finally, she spoke. You're an asshole. I know. But you're not wrong. I looked at her. She sighed. I shouldn't have said what I said at the party. It was mean and stupid, and I'm sorry. Okay. That's it? Okay? What do you want me to say? I don't know. Maybe that you forgive me? I don't. She laughed. Fair enough. We kept eating. Emma called me, Linda said. She's a mess. Michael, too. I know. Do you care? No. Liar. I didn't respond. Linda wiped her mouth with a napkin. You know what Dad would have said if he saw this? What? He would have said you finally grew a spine. Would he? Yep, he always thought you were too soft, too forgiving. He'd be proud of you now. I doubt that. She shrugged. Believe what you want, but I'm telling you, he'd approve. We finished eating. She packed up the trash, stood, and walked to the door. For what it's worth, she said, I think you did what you had to do, even if it sucks for everyone else. Thanks. Don't thank me yet. This isn't over. I know. She left. I locked the door, turned off the lights, and lay down. Tomorrow, I'd check out. Find somewhere else to stay. Keep moving until they stopped looking. But tonight, I let myself rest. I took a cab to County General, walked through the automatic doors, past the front desk, up the elevator to the 4th floor. The nurse at the station didn't stop me. I didn't give her a chance. Michael's room was at the end of the hall, door half open. I pushed it the rest of the way. Emma sat in a chair by the bed. She looked up when I walked in. Her face was pale, eyes hollow. He's sleeping, she said. I looked at Michael. He lay on his back, eyes closed, an IV in his arm. He looked smaller than I remembered. Fragile. How long has he been here? 2 days. And you didn't tell me. I didn't think you'd care. I didn't respond. She stood, walked to the window, stared out at the parking lot. Jennifer called me. She found him on the bathroom floor, said he left a note. What did it say? I don't know. She wouldn't tell me, but the police took it. I moved closer to the bed. Michael's face was slack, peaceful. He didn't look like someone who'd tried to end his life. He looked like he was resting. The doctor said he'll be okay, Emma continued. Physically, at least. But they want to keep him for observation. Psych eval. Good. She turned. Good? That's all you have to say? What do you want me to say? That you're sorry, that you didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't mean for this to happen, but I'm not sorry. Her face twisted. How can you say that? Because it's the truth. She walked over, stood between me and the bed. You did this to him. No, he did this to himself. Because of you. Because of his choices, not mine. You drove him to this. I gave him what he asked for. Control, power, responsibility. He couldn't handle it. She slapped me. The sound echoed in the small room. I didn't move. Get out, she said. No, get out. He's my son. You lost the right to say that. I looked at Michael, then at Emma. You're right, I did. I turned and walked out. In the hallway, I leaned against the wall and closed my eyes. Footsteps. I opened my eyes. Derek. He stopped a few feet away. I figured you'd show up. Where's Emma? Still in there. He crossed his arms. You look like hell. So do you. Yeah, well, my wife won't talk to me. My business partner's suing me, and my father-in-law destroyed my life. So yeah, I look like hell. I didn't respond. He stepped closer. You want to know something funny? I used to think you were a good guy. Quiet, sure. A little distant, but good. Turns out I was wrong. You were. So what now? You stand here, pretend you care, and then disappear again? Something like that. He laughed. At least you're honest. Derek, don't. I don't want to hear it. Whatever you're about to say, save it. He walked past me into Michael's room. I stayed in the hallway. A nurse walked by, gave me a concerned look. Are you okay, sir? I'm fine. She didn't look convinced, but kept walking. I pulled out the burner phone and called Paul. I'm at the hospital. I heard. How is he? Alive. That's good. Is it? Pause. David, this isn't your fault. Isn't it? No. Michael made his own choices. You didn't force him to do anything. I pushed him. You held him accountable. There's a difference. Doesn't feel like it. That's because you're human. But legally, morally, you're in the clear. I don't care about legally. Then what do you care about? I hung up, walked to the elevator, rode down to the first floor, and left the hospital. Outside, the air was cold. I pulled my jacket tighter and walked to the parking lot. My car was gone, still at the storage facility in that forgotten town out west. I called a cab, waited. When it arrived, I told the driver to take me to the nearest motel. Which one? Doesn't matter, just take me. He drove. I stared out the window. 15 minutes later, he pulled into a motel parking lot. I paid, got out, and walked to the front desk. One night. The clerk handed me a key. Room 22, second floor. Inside, I dropped my bag and sat on the edge of the bed. My phone buzzed. Linda, I answered. You went to the hospital. Yes. Emma called me. She said you left. I did. Why? Because there was nothing I could do. That's not true. You could have stayed. And said what? That you're sorry. That you didn't mean for this to happen. That you still care. I do care. Then why aren't you there? Because me being there makes it worse. She paused. Maybe. But leaving makes it worse too. I hung up, lay down, stared at the ceiling. The next morning, I woke to pounding on the door. I checked the time. 7 a.m. More pounding. I opened the door. Emma. She looked worse than yesterday. Hair tangled, clothes wrinkled, eyes red. He's awake, she said. Good. He wants to see you. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't care what you think. He asked for you, so you're coming with me. She didn't wait for a response, just turned and walked toward the stairs. I followed. We drove to the hospital in silence. She parked in the same spot as yesterday. We walked inside, took the elevator to the 4th floor. Michael's room was at the end of the hall. Same place, same setup. Emma stopped at the door. He's fragile. Don't push him. I won't. She opened the door. Michael was sitting up. He looked at me when I walked in. His face was pale, eyes dull. Hi, Dad. Michael. Emma closed the door behind us. She stayed near it, arms crossed. I'm sorry, Michael said. For what? For making this worse. I sat in the chair by the bed. You don't need to apologize. Yes, I do. He looked down at his hands. I messed up. I let everything fall apart. Jennifer, the business, us. I couldn't handle it. You could have asked for help. From who? You? You made it clear you didn't want anything to do with us. That's not true. Isn't it? I didn't respond. He leaned back against the pillow. I keep thinking about that day at the events center. When Paul walked in, when he told us what you'd done, I was so angry. I know, but now I just feel tired. Michael. No, let me finish. He looked at me. You were right. About everything. We treated you like garbage. We acted like you owed us something. And when you pushed back, we fell apart. You didn't fall apart. You're still here. Barely, Emma stepped forward. Michael, you don't have to do this. Yes, I do. He looked at her, then back at me. I need to say this. I need you to know that I get it now. You weren't punishing us. You were teaching us. I wasn't trying to teach you anything. Yes, you were. You were showing us what it's like to lose everything, to have no control, to feel powerless. I stood. Michael, that's not... It is. And you know what? It worked. I get it now. I understand what you felt. Do you? Yes. I looked at Emma. She didn't say anything, just stared at me, waiting. Michael, I said, I didn't do this to teach you a lesson. I did it to protect myself. I know. Then you know I'm not the good guy here. I know that too. I turned to leave. Dad, Michael called after me. I stopped. I forgive you. I didn't turn around. You shouldn't. I walked out. In the hallway, I leaned against the wall and tried to breathe. Emma came out a minute later. He meant it. I know. Then why did you leave? Because I don't deserve his forgiveness. Maybe not, but he gave it to you anyway. I looked at her. What do you want from me, Emma? I want you to stop running. I'm not running. Yes, you are. You've been running since the day this started, and it's not working. It's working fine. No, it's not. Michael's in the hospital. Derek won't talk to me. Jennifer's gone. We're all falling apart. And you're still pretending you don't care. I do care. Then prove it. How? By staying. I shook my head. I can't. Why not? Because if I stay, I'll make it worse. You already made it worse. Now you need to fix it. I can't fix this. You can try. I turned and walked toward the elevator. She didn't follow. I went back to the motel. Lay on the bed, stared at the ceiling. The burner phone buzzed. Paul. The hearing is tomorrow, 9 a.m. You need to be there. I'm not going. David, the judge issued a warning. If you don't show up, he'll hold you in contempt. Let him. That means jail time. I don't care. David, Paul, I'm done. With the hearings, the lawyers, all of it. Let the judge do what he wants. You're not thinking straight. I'm thinking fine. No, you're not. You're spiraling. I hung up, turned off the phone, closed my eyes, slept. The next morning, I woke to pounding on the door. I didn't get up, more pounding. David, open the door. Paul. I stayed on the bed. I know you're in there. The front desk told me. More pounding. If you don't open this door, I'm calling the police. I got up, unlocked the door, and opened it. Paul stood there, briefcase in hand, looking more tired than I'd ever seen him. You look terrible, I said. So do you. He walked in, set his briefcase on the table, and turned to face me. You missed the hearing. I know. The judge held you in contempt, issued a warrant. Okay. Okay? David, do you understand what that means? Yes. Then why are you acting like it doesn't matter? Because it doesn't. He stared at me. What happened to you? What do you mean? 8 months ago, you came to my office with a plan. You were calm, focused, determined. Now you're a mess. I'm fine. No, you're not. You're hiding in a motel, ignoring court orders, and letting your life fall apart. My life's not falling apart. Michael's in the hospital. Emma's a wreck. Derek's suing you. Linda's worried sick, and you're sitting here pretending none of it matters. It doesn't. Paul shook his head. I can't represent you anymore. What? I'm done. Find another attorney. Paul. No, I've been your attorney for 8 months. I've done everything you asked, but I can't watch you destroy yourself. He grabbed his briefcase and walked to the door. Paul, wait. He stopped. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. He turned. What? I don't know what I'm doing. I had a plan. I knew what I wanted. But now, I sat down on the bed. Now I don't know. Paul walked back, sat in the chair by the window. What do you want, David? I wanted them to understand what they did to me. Do they? I don't know. Maybe. Then why are you still hiding? Because I don't know what comes next. He leaned forward. You want my advice? Do I have a choice? Go to the courthouse, turn yourself in, pay the fine, then go see your kids. And say what? The truth, that you screwed up, that you're sorry, that you want to fix this. I'm not sorry. Then say that, but at least say something. I looked at him. You really think that'll work? I don't know, but it's better than this. He stood, grabbed his briefcase, and walked to the door. Paul. He stopped. Thank you. He nodded. Don't make me regret this. He left. I sat there for a long time. Then I grabbed my keys and drove to the courthouse. The building was downtown, 12 stories, all glass and concrete. I parked in the lot, walked inside, and took the elevator to the 6th floor. The clerk at the front desk looked up when I walked in. Can I help you? I'm turning myself in. She blinked. Excuse me? I missed a hearing. There's a warrant. She checked her computer. Name? David Brennan. She typed, frowned, typed more. There is a warrant. You'll need to see the judge. When? He's in session now. You'll have to wait. She pointed to a row of chairs near the window. I sat, waited. 2 hours later, a bailiff called my name. I stood, followed him into a courtroom. The judge sat at the bench reading a file. He looked up when I walked in. Mr. Brennan. Your Honor. You missed your hearing. Yes. Do you have an explanation? No. He stared at me. No? No. He set the file down. Mr. Brennan, I don't appreciate people wasting my time. You were ordered to appear. You didn't. That's contempt. I understand. Do you? Because your behavior suggests otherwise. I didn't respond. He leaned back. I'm going to give you a choice. You can pay a fine and we'll move on. Or you can spend 30 days in jail. Which would you prefer? The fine. Good. He named a number. Pay the clerk on your way out. Yes, Your Honor. He picked up the file. And Mr. Brennan? Yes? Don't miss another hearing. I won't. I left the courtroom, paid the fine, and walked out of the building. In the parking lot, I sat in my car and stared at the steering wheel. Then I called Emma. She answered on the second ring. Dad? Can we talk? Pause. When? Now. If you're free. Another pause. Where? A coffee shop on 5th, the one near your old apartment. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I drove to the coffee shop, ordered a black coffee, and sat at a table by the window. 15 minutes later, Emma walked in. She looked better than the last time I'd seen her. hair brushed, clothes clean, but her face was still tired. She sat down across from me. "Thanks for coming," I said. "What do you want, Dad?" "To talk." "About what?" "About everything." She leaned back. "Okay, talk." I took a sip of coffee. I screwed up. "Yeah, you did. I thought I was doing the right thing, protecting myself, teaching you a lesson, but I wasn't thinking about what it would do to you." "That's an understatement." "I know." She looked out the window. "Do you have any idea what the last few months have been like?" "No." "Derek left me. He said he couldn't trust me, that I was just like you." "I'm sorry." "Are you? Because it doesn't seem like it." "I am." She looked at me. "Then why did you do it?" "Because I was angry and hurt, and I wanted you to feel what I felt." "Mission accomplished." I set my coffee down. "Emma, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even expect you to understand. But I need you to know that I never wanted this to go this far." "What did you want?" "I wanted you to see me, to respect me, to stop treating me like I was nothing." She leaned forward. "You were never nothing. You were our dad." "Then why did you act like I was?" She didn't answer. We sat in silence for a while. Finally, she spoke. "What now?" "I don't know. That's not good enough. It's all I have." She stood. "I have to go." "Emma." "No. I came here because you asked. I listened. But I'm not ready to forgive you. I don't know if I ever will be." She walked out. I sat there for a long time, staring at my cold coffee. Then I drove back to the motel. Inside, I lay on the bed and closed my eyes. The burner phone buzzed. "Linda." "You saw Emma?" "How did you know?" "She called me, said you apologized." "I did." "Did it help?" "No." "I didn't think it would." I sat up. "Linda, what do I do?" "I don't know, David. You made this mess. You have to figure out how to clean it up." "I don't know how." "Then maybe you should have thought about that before you started." She hung up. I lay back down, stared at the ceiling. For the first time in months, I didn't know what to do next. I stayed at the motel for 3 more days, didn't go anywhere, didn't call anyone, just lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling. On the 4th day, there was a knock at the door. I opened it. Derek. He looked different, thinner, harder. His eyes had a sharpness I hadn't seen before. "Can I come in?" I stepped aside. He walked in, looked around the room, then sat in the chair by the window. "This is where you've been hiding." "I'm not hiding." "Sure you're not." He crossed his arms. "Emma told me you met with her." "She did?" "Yeah, said you apologized." "I did." "Did you mean it?" "Yes." He laughed. "I don't believe you." "That's your choice." He leaned forward. "You know what's funny? I used to think you were weak, passive, the kind of guy who'd let people walk all over him. Turns out I was wrong. You're not weak. You're just cruel." "Maybe." "No maybe about it." He stood, walked to the window, stared out at the parking lot. "Emma's a mess. Michael's barely functioning. And you're sitting here like none of it matters." "It matters." "Then do something about it." "Like what?" He turned. "Fix it. Undo what you did. Give them back what you took." "I can't." "Why not?" "Because it's not mine to give anymore. They have control now. They always did." "That's not true." "It is. Read the documents, talk to Paul. They'll tell you the same thing." He stared at me. "You really believe that?" "Yes." "Then you're delusional." "Maybe." He walked to the door, stopped. "Emma still loves you, you know." "I know. Does that matter to you?" "Yes." "Then prove it." He left. I sat down on the bed, pulled out the burner phone, called Paul. "I need to see the documents." "Which ones?" "All of them. Everything related to the foundation." "Why?" "Because I need to understand what I did." Pause. "I can have copies sent to you." "No, I need to see the originals." "David." "Paul, please." Another pause. "All right, come to my office tomorrow, 10 a.m. "I'll be there." I hung up, lay back down, closed my eyes. The next morning, I drove to Paul's office, parked in the garage, took the elevator to the 4th floor. Rebecca met me in the lobby. "He's waiting for you." I followed her to the conference room. Paul sat at the head of the table, surrounded by stacks of documents. He looked up when I walked in. "Have a seat." I sat. He pushed a stack toward me. "These are the foundation documents. Formation, terms, trustee agreements, everything." I started reading. It took hours. By the time I finished, it was past 2 in the afternoon. I set the last document down and looked at Paul. "This is real." "Yes." "They really have control." Yes. Then why do they think I'm the one pulling the strings? Because they don't understand the structure. They see you as the founder, so they assume you still have power. But you don't. You transferred it all. And there's no way to reverse it. Not without their consent. And even then, it would take months. Maybe years. I leaned back. So I really did give it all away? Yes. And they're stuck with it? Yes. I laughed. It wasn't a happy sound. Paul frowned. What's funny? I spent 8 months planning this, making sure everything was perfect, making sure they'd have no way out. And now I'm realizing I trapped myself too. That was the point, wasn't it? I thought it was. But now I'm not sure. Paul closed his briefcase. David, can I give you some advice? Do I have a choice? Stop trying to fix this, accept that it's broken, and move on. Move on to what? Whatever's next. I stood. Thanks, Paul. For what? For being honest. I left. Outside, the air was cold. I pulled my jacket tighter and walked to my car. My phone buzzed. Linda. Michael's being released tomorrow. Good. Emma wants to have a family dinner. She asked if you'd come. I don't think that's a good idea. She asked, David. That means something. It means she's trying to fix something that can't be fixed. Maybe, but you should still come. I'll think about it. Don't think, just come. She hung up. I sat in my car, staring at the steering wheel. Then I drove back to the motel. Inside, I lay on the bed, turned on the TV, flipped through channels, turned it off, grabbed the burner phone, called Emma. She answered on the third ring. Dad? Linda told me about the dinner. Are you coming? I don't know. Please, Michael needs this. We all do. Emma, I'm not asking you to fix everything. I'm just asking you to show up. I closed my eyes. Where and when? Tomorrow, 6 p.m., my place. Okay. Okay? I'll be there. She paused. Thank you. I hung up, lay back down, stared at the ceiling. Tomorrow. Tomorrow I'd face them all, and then I'd figure out what came next. I arrived at Emma's apartment at 6. It was a third-floor walk-up in a building that had seen better days. Cracked tile in the lobby, a broken mailbox, stairs that creaked with every step. I knocked. Emma opened the door. She looked nervous. You came. I said I would. She stepped aside. I walked in. The apartment was small. Living room, kitchen, one bedroom I could see down the hall. Michael sat on the couch, looking thinner than he had in the hospital. Jennifer sat next to him. She looked uncomfortable. Linda stood near the kitchen, holding a glass of wine. Derek wasn't there. Where's Derek? I asked. Emma closed the door. He's not coming. Why not? Because he doesn't want to see you. Fair enough. Michael stood. He looked at me for a long moment, then walked over and held out his hand. I shook it. Thanks for coming, Dad. Sure. We stood there, awkward. Linda walked over. All right. Enough of this. Let's eat. We sat at the small table in the kitchen. Emma had made pasta, simple, nothing fancy. We passed dishes around in silence. I took a bite. It was good. This is nice, Linda said, breaking the silence. No one responded. She tried again. So, Michael, how are you feeling? Better. Good. That's good. More silence. Jennifer set down her fork. I should go. Jen, wait, Michael said. No, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have come. Please. She looked at him, then at me. I'm sorry, but I can't do this. She stood, grabbed her purse, and left. Michael stared at the door. I'll talk to her, Emma said. Don't, she's right. This was a mistake. He stood and walked to the couch. Sat down, head in his hands. Emma looked at me. Say something. Like what? I don't know. Anything. I set down my fork. Michael. He didn't look up. Michael, I said again. He lifted his head. I'm sorry. He laughed. Are you? Yes. For what? For destroying my marriage? For ruining my life? For all of it. He stood. You know what the worst part is? I still want your approval. Even after everything you did, I still want you to be proud of me. I am proud of you. No, you're not. You think I'm weak. A failure. I don't. Yes, you do. That's why you did this. To prove that I couldn't handle it. That's not why I did it. Then why? I stood. Because I wanted you to see what it felt like to be powerless. To have no control. To watch everything fall apart and not be able to stop it. Well, congratulations. Mission accomplished. Michael, no. I'm done. He grabbed his jacket. Thanks for dinner, Em. I'm leaving. Michael, wait, Emma called after him. He didn't stop. The door slammed. Emma turned to me. Are you happy now? No. Then why did you say that? Because it's the truth. Linda set down her wine. David, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm being honest. No, you're being cruel. Maybe, but at least I'm not lying. Emma walked to the door. I think you should leave. Emma? Leave, Dad. Now. I grabbed my jacket and walked out. In the hallway, I stopped, leaned against the wall, tried to breathe. Behind me, I heard Emma crying. I kept walking. Outside, the air was cold. I walked to my car, got in, and sat there, stared at the steering wheel. Then I started the engine and drove. I didn't know where I was going, just drove, out of the city, onto the highway, away from everything. An hour later, I pulled into a rest stop, parked near the back, got out and walked to a picnic table, sat down, stared at the sky. My phone buzzed. Linda. That was a disaster. I know. What were you thinking? I was thinking I should tell the truth. The truth? David, the truth doesn't matter if it destroys people. They wanted honesty. No, they wanted comfort. They wanted you to tell them it would be okay, that you'd fix it. Instead, you twisted the knife. I didn't mean to. Yes, you did. I hung up, sat there for a long time. Then I got back in my car and drove to the motel. Inside, I lay on the bed, turned off the phone, closed my eyes, didn't sleep. The next morning, there was a knock at the door. I didn't answer. More knocking. David, open the door. Paul. I got up, unlocked it. He walked in, briefcase in hand. You're making this worse. I know. Then stop. I don't know how. He set his briefcase down. I got a call from Michael's attorney this morning. He's filing a lawsuit. For what? Emotional distress, negligence, a few other things. Will it work? Probably not, but it'll drag things out. Cost money, make everyone miserable. Good. Paul stared at me. Good? They want to fight? Fine, let them fight. David, this isn't a fight. It's a war, and you're going to lose. I already lost. Then why keep going? Because I don't know what else to do. Paul shook his head. I can't help you anymore. I know. He grabbed his briefcase and walked to the door. Stopped, turned back. For what it's worth, I think you're making a mistake. Probably. But you're not going to stop. No. He nodded. Good luck, David. He left. I sat down on the bed, stared at the wall. My phone buzzed. I turned it off, lay down, closed my eyes, waited. 3 days later, I drove to a town I'd never been to. Small place, population maybe 2,000. One main street, a gas station, a diner. I found a motel on the edge of town, paid cash. Room 5, first floor. Inside, I dropped my bag and sat on the edge of the bed. The burner phone buzzed. Paul. There's a meeting tomorrow. 10 a.m. mediation. I'm not going. David, you have to. No, I don't. The judge ordered it. Then I'll pay another fine. It's not that simple. If you don't show up, Michael's attorney is going to argue that you're deliberately obstructing the process. The judge could freeze your accounts, seize your assets. I don't have any assets. You have the storage units, the car, whatever cash you're sitting on. Let them take it. David. Paul, I'm done. With the courts, the lawyers, the mediations, all of it. You can't just walk away. Watch me. I hung up, turned off the phone, lay down, slept. I woke to pounding on the door, checked the time, 3 a.m., more pounding. I opened the door. Michael. He looked worse than I'd ever seen him. We need to talk. How did you find me? Paul told me. Paul wouldn't do that. I stepped aside. He walked in. Michael, you need help. I need you to fix this. I can't. Yes, you can. You set this up. You can undo it. It's not that simple. Yes, it is. You sign some papers, transfer the money back, and we move on. It doesn't work that way. He grabbed my shirt, shoved me against the wall. Make it work. I grabbed his wrists, pulled them off. Michael, calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. He swung at me. I blocked it. He swung again. This time his fist connected with my jaw. I stumbled back, hit the dresser. He came at me again. I sidestepped. He crashed into the wall. Michael, stop. He spun around, breathing hard. I hate you. I know. No, you don't. You think you know, but you don't. I hate you for what you did to me, to Jennifer, to all of us. Michael, shut up. He moved closer. You destroyed my life, and now you won't even fix it. I can't fix it. Yes, you can. No, I can't. The foundation is real. The transfers are real. I don't have control anymore. You do. He stared at me. You're lying. I'm not. Then why did you do this? Because I was angry and hurt, and I wanted you to understand what that felt like. Well, I understand now. Are you happy? No. Good, because neither am I. He walked to the door, stopped. I'm not coming back. Okay. I mean it. This is the last time you'll see me. I understand. He opened the door, then turned back. I hope you die alone. He left. I stood there for a long time. Then I sat down on the bed, stared at the floor. My jaw throbbed where he'd hit me. I touched it, winced. Then I lay down and closed my eyes. The next morning, I woke to my phone buzzing. I turned it on. 15 missed calls, 10 texts, all from Linda. I called her. What? Michael's missing. What do you mean, missing? Emma went to his apartment this morning. He wasn't there. His car's gone. His phone's off. No one's seen him since last night. He was here last night. What? He came to my motel. We talked, then he left. What did you say to him? The truth. God damn it, David, what truth? That I couldn't fix this. That he had to. And what did he say? That he wasn't coming back. Linda was silent for a long moment. We need to find him. How? I don't know, but we need to try. I hung up, grabbed my keys, drove. I didn't know where I was going, just drove. Checked every place I could think of. His apartment, his office, Jennifer's sister's house. Nothing. I called Emma. Have you found him? No, Derek's out looking too. We called the police, but they said he has to be missing for 48 hours. That's too long. I know. Emma, I'm sorry. Don't. Just find him. I hung up, kept driving. Hours passed. The sun set. My phone buzzed. Linda. They found him. Where? County General. He crashed his car into a tree. He's alive, but what? He's in surgery. I hung up, drove to the hospital, ran inside, found Emma in the waiting room. She looked up when I walked in. Her face was pale, eyes red. How is he? I don't know. They won't tell me anything. I sat down next to her. We waited. 2 hours later, a doctor came out. Are you family? Emma stood. I'm his sister. He's stable. The surgery went well, but he's going to need time to recover. Can we see him? Not yet. Give us a few hours. She nodded. The doctor left. Emma sat down, put her face in her hands, and cried. I didn't touch her, just sat there. After a while, she looked up. This is your fault. I know. He could have died. I know. And you're just sitting there like it doesn't matter. It matters. Then do something. Like what? I don't know. Anything. I stood. I'll fix this. How? I don't know yet, but I will. I left. Outside, I got in my car and drove, back to the motel. Inside, I grabbed the burner phone and called Paul. I need to dissolve the foundation. David, we've been over this. You can't. I don't care if I can or can't. Find a way. There is no way. Not without the trustees' consent. Then get their consent. They won't give it. Make them. Pause. What are you planning? Whatever it takes. I hung up, lay down, stared at the ceiling. Tomorrow I'd make this right. One way or another. The next morning, I drove to Paul's office. Parked in the garage, took the elevator to the 4th floor. Rebecca met me in the lobby. He's in the conference room. I followed her. Paul sat at the table, surrounded by documents. He looked up when I walked in. I did some research last night. There's one way to dissolve the foundation without the trustees' consent. What is it? Fraud. If you can prove the foundation was set up under fraudulent pretenses, the court can dissolve it. That's perfect. No, it's not. Because proving fraud means admitting you lied, that you manipulated them. You'd be opening yourself up to lawsuits, criminal charges, everything. I don't care. David, I don't care, Paul. I need to fix this. Now. He leaned back. You're sure about this? Yes. All right. But you need to understand what you're doing. Once we file, there's no going back. I know. He pulled out a document. Sign here. I signed. He stood. I'll file this afternoon. The hearing will be in a week. Make it sooner. I can't. The court's backlogged. Then find a way. He sighed. I'll try. I left. Drove back to the hospital. Michael was awake. Emma sat next to his bed. I knocked on the door frame. Emma looked up. What are you doing here? I need to talk to Michael. He doesn't want to see you. I know, but I need to tell him something." She looked at Michael. He nodded. She stood, walked past me, and left. I walked in, closed the door. Michael looked at me. "What do you want?" "I'm fixing this." "How?" "I'm dissolving the foundation, admitting fraud, giving you back control." He stared at me. "Why?" "Because I was wrong." "That's it? You were wrong?" "Yes." "And what happens to you?" "I'll probably go to jail. Maybe worse." "Good." I nodded. "I deserve it." He looked away. "When?" "A week. Maybe less." "And then what?" "Then you'll have everything, the money, the properties, all of it. And you'll have nothing." "Yes." He turned back to me. "I don't forgive you. I don't expect you to. But I'm glad you're doing this." "So am I." I turned to leave. "Dad?" I stopped. "I'm sorry for saying I hoped you'd die alone." "Don't be. I probably will." I left. In the hallway, Emma waited. "What did you tell him?" "That I'm fixing it." "How?" "By admitting I was wrong." She stared at me. "What does that mean?" "It means I'm giving you back everything, and I'm accepting the consequences." "What consequences?" "Jail, lawsuits, whatever comes." She opened her mouth, closed it. "Why?" "Because it's the right thing to do." "Since when do you care about the right thing?" "Since Michael almost died." She looked down. "I still hate you." "I know. But I don't want you to go to jail. It's not up to you." She looked up. "Yes, it is. I'm a trustee. I can refuse to press charges. The court won't care. Once I admit fraud, they'll prosecute." "Then don't admit fraud." "I have to." "No, you don't." She grabbed my arm. "Dad, there has to be another way." "There isn't." "Then we'll find one." I pulled my arm free. "Emma, I'm done fighting. Let me do this." She stared at me, tears in her eyes. "You're really going to throw your life away?" "I threw it away 8 months ago. I'm just finishing the job." I walked away, took the elevator down, got in my car, drove to the motel. Inside, I lay on the bed and closed my eyes. For the first time in months, I felt calm. A week later, I stood in front of the judge. Emma sat in the front row. Michael was there too, still bandaged but walking. Linda sat next to them. Derek wasn't there. Paul stood next to me. "Your Honor," Paul said, "my client wishes to admit fraud in the creation of the Brennan Family Foundation." The judge looked at me. "Is this true?" "Yes." "Do you understand what you're admitting to?" "Yes." "And you're doing this voluntarily?" "Yes." He leaned back. "Mr. Brennan, this is highly unusual. Are you sure you want to proceed?" "Yes." He looked at Paul. "Is there any reason I shouldn't accept this admission?" "No, Your Honor." The judge nodded. "Very well. I'm dissolving the foundation effective immediately. The assets will be returned to the control of the family. Mr. Brennan, you're facing charges of fraud, which carry a maximum sentence of 10 years. Do you have anything to say?" I stepped forward. "I did what I did because I was angry, because I felt betrayed, but I should have handled it differently. I should have talked to them. Instead, I hurt them, and I'm sorry." The judge looked at Emma. "Does the family wish to press charges?" Emma stood. "No, Your Honor." He frowned. "You're sure?" "Yes. He's already lost everything. That's punishment enough." The judge looked at Michael. "Mr. Brennan?" Michael stood. "I agree with my sister." The judge sighed. "Very well. Given the family's wishes, I'm not going to refer this for prosecution, but Mr. Brennan, you're to have no further contact with the foundation or its assets. Is that clear?" "Yes, Your Honor." "Court is adjourned." He banged the gavel. I turned. Emma walked over. "That's it?" "That's it." "You're not going to jail?" "Not today." She hugged me. I stood there, arms at my sides, not sure what to do. Then I hugged her back. Michael walked over. "Thanks, Dad." "For what?" "For doing the right thing. It's the least I could do." He nodded, then walked out. Emma pulled back. "What now?" "Now you take control. Run the foundation. Do what you think is right." "And you?" "I'll figure it out." She looked at me. "I still don't forgive you." "I know. But I don't hate you anymore." "That's a start." She smiled, then left. Linda walked over. "You did good, kid." "Did I?" "Yeah, you did." She hugged me, then followed Emma out. I stood there, alone in the empty courtroom. Paul walked over. "You okay?" "I don't know." "What are you going to do now?" "I don't know that either." He held out his hand. Good luck, David. I shook it. Thanks, Paul. He left. I walked out of the courthouse. Outside, the sun was setting. The air was cold. I got in my car, started the engine, and sat there, stared at the steering wheel. Then I drove, away from the city, away from everything. I didn't know where I was going, but for the first time in months, I didn't care. I was free.